Know the truth, because this is not the first time we are facing controversy over the plot. In order for us to know the truth, because this is not the first time we are facing controversy over the plot. The first time we were sold plots issued with allotment letters. We believed that we were safe because we even paid to the Nairobi County Council the rates and other expenses that were required. Only to be told that the persons who sold us plots are not the owners. So we took a step of searching for the rightful owners. And before the rightful owner made agreement with us on how to, final agreement on us, with us on how to regularize our plots, judgment was issued giving the estate of Kirima as the rightful owners. We accepted the judgment as it was and took a step of trying to resolve the matter amicably with the estate of the late Kirima. Only later on to learn that the person who had been brought to us as the rightful owner has come up. That is the family of the estate, the estate of the late Dominico has shown up and is showing documents which seem to be making sense, seem to be the correct documents. So as the residents who have invested massively in the area, we were left confused. And as at now, we don't know even if the government comes up to resolve the matter on our behalf with whoever is the rightful owner. We are still very cautious because we may pay any of the claimant as the rightful owner later on to be told that that was not the owner. So our plea and our request is that first and foremost, we would want this matter to be resolved as fast as possible, because some of our members are even right now admitted in the hospital. Some are in very critical condition. Most of them should have come here, they are on the way coming, but because of stress and pressure, these people are completely confused. So we have come to court to get a way forward. Our beloved government is willing to mediate, and we are also willing to have amicable resolution. But now, who do we negotiate with? We also have cartels in between, also who are imposing themselves as the ones who have been sent by such a family. Either of the family have sent some other people to come and negotiate with us. Some of us are taking even advantage to siphon money out of the members. So we would only pray and appeal to the courts to determine who actually is the rightful owner, and we are willing to cooperate and resolve the matter. I think more will be said by our council, and with those few remarks, I can only finalize by saying we are investors and we are willing to regularize our stay there with whoever comes up and tell us he is the rightful owner. Thank you.
Today we moved court last week on Friday, asking the court that the residents of the subject land be enjoined as part of the proceedings, although the judgment had already been entered, with a view to have the same judgment set aside, owing to the effect of public interest that the judgment has upon all the residents that are ordinarily residing in that property. Now, the chairman of the area approached our law firm, representing over 500 residents who have been ordinarily living there and who are likely to be affected by the demolition if the judgment of the court is executed. Not only are there residents who will be affected, but also we have to look at the social and economic effect of the demolition that is to be effected. Within that community, there are more than 10 schools, more than 10 designated areas of worship, including churches and mosques, and very many health facilities that people have been relying on for the longest period of time. And because of the issue of ownership, which had not yet been settled, the residents of that area were not sure how to regularize their stay. And therefore, we are asking the court to join us in these proceedings, because when we look at the documents that we have, there is nowhere that the kirimas appear in any of the documents from dating back to 1905, when the lease that was initially granted to Dominico was issued on the 27th day of October 1905. After that, and it was issued by the then acting commissioner for the East African Protectorate. After that, it was issued in the Nairobi, it was registered in the Nairobi Registry of Deeds by James Roberts, 339 of 1905, and the lease was effected to James Thomas and William Henry for 99 years, where they used to pay a yearly rent of 313 cents rupees. Then there was the assignment, which was dated the 26th day of June, 1911, and a conveyance to that effect dated the 4th March of 1913 that registered both James Thomas and Charles MacDonald, and the subject land was about 4025.41 acres, assigned then to Charles MacDonald Reginald and Julian Jamison as tenants in common, where the rent they were paying was 251 cents rupees. Now, after that, the land then moved by way of assignment, dated the 16th of April 1917, with George William as the new person taking over the land. Thereafter, there was an assignment dated the 1st of December 1930 to George William and one individual known as Muthura. And when the Muthura died in 14th March 1944 interstate, the letters of administration were issued to one Satpal and Deraj Sharma on the 21st of April 1944 by then the Magistrate Supreme Court of Kenya in Probate and Administration number 63 of 1944. Thereafter, the subject land was assigned on the 1st of June 1950 by the Supreme Court of Kenya through a grant dated the 21st April 1994. Now, in that assignment, the sale agreement, the person paid 90,000 shillings for the purchase, and the land was then divided and alienated and described as Plan number 347, where he was supposed to pay a yearly rate of 62 cents. And this was signed and sealed by the persons who were, by the parties of that assignment. And part of the annexes that we are adducing before court is the Colony of the Protectorate of Kenya map, land reference 507, which shows the physical map and signed mutations. So the estate then went over to succession in cause number 625 of 2009, and a grant was effectively issued on the 29th day of August 2023, and the beneficiaries of that property included Bernardo De Masi, Moses Ngugi, Antonio Kenyatta De Masi, Jospena De Masi, Elizabeta De Masi, Elena De Masi, Bernardo De Masi, and Nicholas De Masi. So from that whole prose of how events followed on how that land devolved, there is nowhere there is nowhere that shows the Kirimas had any interest in that purported land. And therefore we are inviting the courts of law to do justice, especially in light of the public interest that is likely to affect all the residents that have been residing there, and the effect on that, on what that will do on the citizens who are ordinarily hustlers within the Republic of Kenya. I yield the floor.
1900, the British conquered Kenya and Kenya became a colony and was in the hands of Africans and Kenyans. 1904, the British lands in Nairobi, acquires the land now called the Kirima land. They issue a title then called an indenture, giving it to foreigners, that land, for a lease of 99 years. My good friend Wakili Swiga has taken you through the several assignments and the amount that was supposed to be paid as lease to the government of the British colony. That time the currency was not Kenya shillings, it was the Indian rupees. The Wazungus paid the rupees. Later, they died. Several changes happened. The last one being Succession Act of 1944, which is very critical. It was heard by the Majesty's Supreme Court and granted Dominico that land. Come 1965, 64, 63, Kenya acquires independence. We take the maps, the crown maps, the crown mutations, the crown documents, and they become Kenyan documents, and out of that, Dominico continues to have the land, purportedly called the Kirima land. After the death, the Dominicos go to court in the High Court of Kenya and get grants of succession. We have given the members of the Fourth Estate the succession cost. That grant, nowhere does the Kirima appear. The nearest name near to him is Kenyatta. He's not a Kenyatta. The matter is coming up before Justice Mitei on the 11th of November 2023. This month, the matter of the Dominico succession matter is coming up. The Kirimas are not part of that debate. So the questions that arise were the proper parties before Justice Okongo in Kisumu. The parties that were litigating in Kisumu were pretenders to be the owners of the land. The Kirimas pretended that land was theirs. The people who sued pretended to be the owners of the land. And that is why the judge left with no any document granted the Kirima those orders. We have now filed all these documents to the attention of the judge to review that decision. We have equally written a letter to the Director of Criminal Investigation to investigate the documents the Kirima presented before the judge, to investigate the document the Dominican guy has presented with a view of establishing which are the lawful, rightful documents of ownership. If any criminal act was done, then the DCI and the DPP will take action. We have equally written to the National Land Commission to investigate the titles of this land. How did this land move into the alleged Kirima family? So we have presented documents. For those ones who have seen the judgment that was issued in Kisumu, no document was produced. The Dominican guy has the document, the original document. So we have moved to get stay of execution of those orders because under the law, it is very clear that once discovery of materials that were not available at the time a judgment was entered or at the time the case was heard, the court is bound to review its own decision based on the new materials that were presented before the court, which was not present at that time. The matter has been certified, and we are appearing before the judge on the 20th of this month, which is earlier than the date of eviction. The questions the owners of the property are asking, who do they deal with as the rightful owner of the land? Is it Dominico? That is why we have presented this document to government agencies to certify if the documents that we have presented are genuine and which we are sure are genuine, then the orders granted be vacated. Very fundamental conveyancing questions. Where is the stamp duty paid by kirima? Where is the sale agreement? Between who and who? Where is the grant that allowed the one who sold them pay? Where are the conveyancing documents that they have? Lastly, which bank account did they put the money? There is no land unless it's a gift to a son or to a wife. Where is the account they deposited money to Dominico to say they had a legitimate expectation that after paying consideration, then they have the land. So we shall stand firm with over the 500 people who have an equivalent of 5,000 family members who are likely to be evicted. And we will be calling upon all government agencies, including the Minister, the Cabinet Secretary for Lands, who is the custodian of documents called land, to come out plus the peers and explain where did the government go wrong. And now that we have brought to the right information, we believe very strongly that that judgment will be set aside. The people of Mihang'o, the people of the purportedly called kirima, because with these documents, there's nothing called the kirima estate. You can only have an estate if you are a son, or you are a daughter, or you are a beneficiary known by law of the deceased person. That is the only time you can be a party to a succession, to a matter called the estate of somebody. We strongly believe that we have supplied all these documents to all the media houses. We shall also supply the letters that we have written to all relevant agencies to move with speed, and we urge upon the fourth estate to be very critical on documents presented by us and documents presented by any other party, so that the whole country gets to understand the biggest fraud occasion on these innocent Kenyans whose savings are at that place, whose health is at stake, whose children cannot go to school, whose religious places of worship are likely to be demolished. It is such a catastrophe, more catastrophic than what is happening in the Gaza Strip. Let us not create a Gaza Strip in this country by ignoring our own Kenyans and focus more on those ones outside this country. Any questions from the fourth estate? The one we have filed is coming on 20th. The succession matter of Dominico has a mention date on the 11th, on the 14th of November, before Justice Kimitai, the one that has produced the judge the grant of letters. So members of the press follow the proceedings on 4th of November before Justice Kimitai follow the proceedings of the matter that they have filed on 20th of November. Yes.
See, this could just be a trigger of many other conditions that may be, people may be suffering from. And when you are suffering from maybe blood pressure and something of this nature comes, whereby we have a notice of 31st of December this year. So you can imagine how the families, the children, and everybody, even the small children, are asking, Dad, what is going to happen? Yeah? Right now, even if they see road construction, equipment moving around, we just believe that maybe it is coming for us. So there is a lot of psychological, even many things are happening to our people. And there are so many. The land is so vast. You imagine over 1,000 acres of land, beginning from Embakasi barracks up to neighboring Kayubangi. So there are people who are suffering silently of many other conditions triggered by these happenings. Well, closely what we have come to notice is what was presented to us by Dominico family when the chief then of that area told us that whatever you may be holding as allotment letters may not be genuine. This plot belongs to somebody else. So we were shown something that is called a decha. And we could not move further because we were still waiting for official search from the land in order for us to start transacting with them. So in the process, before that happened, that's when the judgment was delivered. I cannot remember exact date, but about 1 or 2 years back, because when the people who took kirimas to court sold us land, we were given the allotment letters and certificates. So our belief was that we are safe. When we paid to the county council, first payment went through, subsequent one it was not going through. So members became cautious. What is happening? So we started a process of wanting to know what exactly is happening. That's when somebody tipped us, if you want more information, go to the chief of NJIRU. We went to the chief of NJIRU and he told us, you are in the land of Dominico. So we were shown some letter of grants and also the indenture. So that's what was the title deed by then.